Hey everybody, welcome to another flashlight review. I wanted to talk to you guys today about the, let's see here, Lumintop GT Mini. That's what I want to talk to you guys about today. I've been using this every night pretty extensively at work for about 3 weeks, at least 3 weeks, maybe longer, 4 weeks. And I just want to kind of tell you what I'm thinking about it after actually using it, and we'll go from there. This was not sent to me for free for review. I purchased this with my own money, so I have no reason to hype it up or lie to you in any way. So you're going to get a true account of my experience. Okay, so let's get the specs out of the way. This uses an XPL high intensity Cree LED. My particular unit is in neutral. Seems to be a little bit harder to get now, the neutral version. It's advertised at 1200 lumens, and I have seen some of the reviews on Amazon. Some of the reviewers claim there's no way that this is 1200 lumen, but in the stock mode, you have to double tap at the top of the ramp in order to get the highest output. So I'm guessing a lot of people don't realize that. So the output is a lot lower until you double tap. All right. Let's see, what else can I tell you about it? I have a unprotected flat top cell. It can use either button top or flat top. The weight of the light without the battery in it is about 5 ounces. Let's see here. The length, tip to tail, let's get this right. Tip to tail is about 5 inches. The diameter here is just a little over, this diameter here is a little over 1 inch. And what am I missing? Head diameter. Head diameter is just under 2 inches. Okay. The flashlight is IPX8 equivalent certified, what they say, and it's got a 5-year warranty, limited 5-year warranty. So supposedly they'll fix it if you break it. It's got a glowing switch. You know, some people are going to like that, some people are not going to like that. You can turn it off if you don't. I have come to like that feature. Okay, while using this light, some of the things that I've noticed is the build quality is pretty good. It's pretty good. This is a $40 flashlight, give or take when you buy it, $40-ish. And I guess if I had to say anything at all about the build quality, I wish the knurling was more aggressive. Like for this type of light, I for my personal uses, I'd like the knurling to be more aggressive, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. One thing to note, take off the tail cap here, is that it's double springs. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this or not, but it's got double springs, and it's probably not going to show up very well. Yeah, anyway, you have to take my word for it on that. It's double springed if you couldn't see that. Looks to be a single spring on the other end, though. Just now noticing that. For you DIYers, this does not unscrew. This head does not unscrew, at least not easily or readily. The tube does come off. Mine came with the short tube, so you can use the 18350s if you want to. You know, you'd basically be holding it like this. If you had an 18350 tube on here, it's, you know, it's half the length. So it's, I don't know, not sure why you would do that, but mine came with that. So the tube does come off. The threads are nice, rectangular threads. They look to be, you know, pretty well machined. They're a little thin, but not bad. Here's what the inside of the head looks like. See, that looks like a single spring there. Not a big deal. So we'll go ahead and put it back together, and then I'll kind of talk to you about my experience with the light. Almost put the battery in backwards. Whew. All right, threads are lightly greased. Could use a little bit more grease on the threads, but they do feel good. So using this light, the beam quality from this light I thought was really surprisingly good. The neutral version of this light I really liked a lot. It's like the perfect tint for me. Like if I could get all of my flashlights this same tint, that would make me very happy. I'm real happy with the beam quality. The advertised distance of throwing this beam is 750 meters, which sounds insane, but I believe it. Now, I touched on briefly about the 1200 lumen output that they claim, and I believe that rating. That's not hard for me to believe. It's going to be close to that. You know, as long as you double tap to get into the turbo. This flashlight is programmable. You can set it to do a bunch of different things, but it comes stock in the ramping UI. So when you hit the button, you hold it down and it ramps up, gets to the top, double clicks or double flashes, and then starts to come down, and you can set it, you know, anywhere you want. So I kind of had a weird experience with that UI. At first, I thought I was going to hate it. I don't know if I have another flashlight that does that. So I was using it and I was like, hey, this isn't too bad. I like this. And then started noticing some problems with it. In the ramping UI, it's weird that the flashlight is real sensitive to the pressure when you're first pressing it down. If you click too quickly, or no, if you're a little bit lazy on the button, I should say, that's what it is. If you're a little bit lazy on the button, it thinks you're wanting to change the brightness of the flashlight and then starts the ramping thing. So that's not what you want. But if you're wanting to turn the flashlight off and you're a little bit lazy, I guess I'm a little bit lazy on the button sometimes, the flashlight wouldn't turn off. You know, I'd be using it and go to hit the button to turn the light off, and it wouldn't turn off. So I almost sent it back because of that, because I thought it was a malfunction. I thought there was something wrong with the switch. So what I did is, once I figured out what the problem was, I switched it to the stepping UI. So I went into there and I programmed it for the stepping UI. And what is happening now is that, again, I can't sometimes get the light to turn off. So I was like, oh man, I don't know what it is. It just seems like sometimes the light won't switch off, and it's really a problem, because I use this light for work, and if this light malfunctions at all, it's a problem for me personally. I can't trust this light if it continues to do weird stuff like that. So I then switched it to where it only has one mode. Couldn't get any simpler than that. I switched it to where you turn this on, it comes on 100%. You click it, you turn it off, it goes off. And you can lazily turn, switch the button on. You can lazily turn it off. And it seems to be working way better. But if I go on a normal patrol, I might use this light, click it on and off, anywhere between 10 and 20 times, depending on what I need to see. And out of that time, out of every single patrol that I do, this thing fails to turn off on the first click every time. every patrol. So out of 20 times turning this thing on and off, it always fails to turn off. So that's a problem for me personally. That's one of the negatives for this light for me personally. So I'm not thrilled about that. I have to tell you about that. And another small negative, a little nitpick gripe, if I'm going to tell you about it, is that this tube is just slightly too short to be comfortable. The ergonomics are slightly too. This tube, if this were just maybe an inch longer, it would be a lot more comfortable to hold. You know, it kind of forces me to hold it like this when I kind of want to hold it like this. You know, I'm kind of wanting to do this, and I can't comfortably because my hand kind of slips off the back of it. It's just not long enough. I mean, I just wish it was just another inch longer if I'm nitpicking. So basically what it boils down to is that I really like this light a lot, except for the switch. The switch is a problem. This bulbous rubber-coated switch doesn't feel good. It doesn't particularly feel good. It feels too small. And it feels like if you don't press it down direct in the center, it causes problems. So that's my take on this light. I'm glad that I got it. We're going to compare it to a Convoy C8 Plus coming up real soon, so we'll do that, you know, which is basically the same light that potentially could fix this issue. I've always, by the way, I want to mention, I've always had problems with electronic switching flashlights. For me personally, in my work experience, they're awesome for EDC. As a matter of fact, I prefer electronic switches in my EDC stuff. But for my work stuff, I generally prefer mechanical switching because it's more reliable. It's just been my experience that it's just a much more reliable method of switching the flashlight on and off. So that's kind of that kind of ruins the flashlight for me for what I intended to buy it for. I still think it's a useful flashlight. I still think it's worth the money. I don't regret the purchase or anything, but it doesn't meet the required. It falls slightly short of my requirements. And it's an unfortunate situation as far as how hot it gets. It does get hot on its highest setting, but not very quickly. I wouldn't say it's even worth mentioning, or it's a problem unless you plan to have this on for longer than 3 minutes at a time, stuff like that. So that's about it. Hopefully this was useful for you guys, and if I missed something or you would like to know something more about this flashlight, definitely leave a comment below and I will try and answer it for you. Thanks for watching.